Hey everyone, this is John Lawrence, Sycamore Land Trust's Executive Director. I'm out here today at Sycamore's Beanblossom Bottoms Nature Preserve. Wanted to take a quick little hike to see what the preserve looks like after a little bit of flooding. Actually, yesterday the parking lot was underwater. Now it's gone down a bit, but from a quick walk back, I think we're going to find some more water further back, so it's a good thing I wore my calf boots. I'm also wearing my Sycamore swag. Represent for Beanblossom Bottoms. So let's go down and take a hike. You can see here at the entrance that there is a rack line, like you see at the beach. This is where the flooding has come up and brought up all kinds of leaves. But right now the boardwalk is clear at the beginning part. Pretty soon we're going to find some water though. Just a couple hundred feet down the trail and we're coming to our first bit of water here. Not too deep. You can see there's a little bit more up ahead and more to come. We're also starting to hear some frogs out in the swamp. I think this is one of the first days they've been singing, and in a minute I'll be quiet, we'll listen and you can hear some chorus frogs. The way I've been told to remember it is it sounds like a person running your thumb down the edge of a comb. Here we can hear some chorus frogs singing not too far away. Hope the audio picks it up well. Again, it's that sound kind of like running your thumb down a plastic comb. Lots of chorus frogs singing. Here we are coming up to the beginning of the boardwalk. You can see we just got a few inches of water here at the start. Not too bad. And pan down here, you can see my boots. If you have regular hiking boots that are waterproof, you do just fine here. The rest of the trail is up. So let's head on down and see what we see. Also mention, we've got those red-shouldered hawks are really giving each other the what for in the background. Here we are looking for the bald eagle's nest, and from a few hundred feet down the trail, look for this ash tree with a Y that is unfortunately dying or dead from emerald ash borer. Turn to our left, well, past 90 degrees. I could take a little step over, and I'm going to zoom in because this nest is way out there. Really use binoculars, but there it is. Look at that big thing. Sorry it's a little jerky, but this is a long way to be hand holding. So there's our bald eagle nest. Don't see any eagle heads sticking out today, but that doesn't mean they aren't around. So keep an eye out. We are coming up on our central deck, and you can see some more evidence of how high the water was. This debris did not jump up here by itself. Water was up over the trail here, and it's still fairly high on either side. It'd get your feet wet and then some. Here's a closer look at woolgrass. Once again, actually a sedge, and just one of my favorite wetland plants, and my favorite plants in general. It's just pretty, and it's a really good indicator. If you've got woolgrass, you've got wet ground. As we're walking along, seeing again more leaves and a few twigs on top of the boardwalk. Shows you that the water came over. Now also the support posts on the sides are kind of muddy. Maybe hard to see, but they're kind of muddy, so water's been up here. Here we are coming up to the big bridge. And as you see, our drainage ditch is full. It is actually just about up to the banks. In case you wondered, this is in fact a drainage ditch. You notice it is very, very straight, and it follows an old property line. It's a typical thing out here. These wetlands were ditched and tiled to dry them out enough for farming. But now that we have some beaver activity and we've been leaving the beaver alone, it's helped make things wet again. In fact, if you take a look, see it on this side, there's kind of a high spot where there isn't any water, and then the water continues off to our left. Well, when they dug a ditch, had to throw the dirt over on either side, so we've got this big long straight ditch, and either side there's a high area. So we walk ahead here a little bit. Perhaps you can see that well here too. There's a little water on either side, and this straight high spot is where the dirt went. Here we have those characteristic seed balls of buttonbush, a nice wetland shrub, very common out here. As we're walking along here past the swamp deck, here's some spring peepers singing. When they're just a few individuals, they make a peep, 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 and when there are enough of them together and the songs overlap, they sound like jingle bells. There's also a chorus frog in there too. Those are, along with wood frogs, those are probably the three earliest frogs to be singing in the springtime. There's a spring peeper real close. Hear that little peep, peep, peep. As we're walking along, there's a blue jay right there, the doodaloo, doodaloo. There you are. You may have heard him earlier when we were listening to some frogs. Further back in, the peepers and chorus frogs are really going in the distance, and also an area where the water's almost up to the wooden boardwalk. And if it's floating a little bit. So be careful when you come out here this time of year. things are low, as you'll see. So the weight of my standing on it has brought the water up. Here's perhaps a sad little discovery, but it is part of nature. I'm walking up here, just found it's like a little mouse in the trail. It's like he passed away. Cute little guy. Don't know my rodents very well. Hard to say what happened, but could very well be that a predator got him and for some reason dropped him before they had a chance to have a snack. So again, cute little feller, but that is nature. We will leave him here, maybe on one of these logs, so someone can come by and eat him, and the circle of life continues. Here's another find along the trail here. Got some tracks in the mud, some people tracks. Look at that. Kind of look like little handprints. I'm not the best at tracks, but I'm gonna say that might be a raccoon. Certainly have plenty of them out here. The smaller bridge on the far east side of the loop, and again we're crossing that same drainage ditch. Look over here and past these fallen trees and just see how straight that is. Water in nature really doesn't go in straight lines. It likes to wander. Look how straight that is. So that's the same ditch that we crossed over the big bridge. It's just not as deep right here. Again, that was done to dry out the land for agriculture. Here we are coming up on the John Galman Honorary bench. As many of you know, John put in just an amazing amount of time working on the boardwalk, as did a lot of other volunteers, but he was the head trail builder in chief. The project would not have happened without him, so thank you, John. Here we are at the forest deck, listening to a great chorus of chorus frogs singing. I would never have guessed how many frogs are out here using this habitat and how valuable it is for them. If it wasn't for the fact that they sing this time of year and you can hear just how many there are. It's really incredible. As we're nearing the edge of the woods, we're hearing that great chorus of chorus frogs and some more evidence of flooding. And in there, you can see the importance of oak trees. One of the main important reasons oak trees are critical to wildlife habitat. Look at all these acorns. Just a ton of them. I could be wrong, but I'd guess those are from pin oaks, and that is great wildlife food. So, very important. Another neat find along the boardwalk. A little collection of crawdad claws. Looks like somebody, maybe a raccoon, has been out here catching and eating crawdads. Keep your eye out along the trail, the muddy areas, for little mud chimneys, and that's where the crawdads live. Alright, well, thanks for joining me on this hike around Beanblossom Bottoms Nature Preserve. And like the sign says, Sycamore needs you. Our habitat restoration and protection work and the maintenance and building of our trails can't happen without you. So thanks very much to all our supporters, and if you're not a member yet, I hope you'll become one. Thanks very much.